Well, g'day everyone, how's it going? It's Michael here coming at you from the studio today, and in this video I want to take you through 5 things that annoy me about the Canon EOS R. Alright, so the first thing that really bugs me about the EOS R, and trust me, I love this camera, but this is something that just gets on my nerves, and maybe there was no way to get around it for the engineers at Canon, but I just think it's so silly that when I'm now in this position vlogging on the camera or doing a piece to camera for YouTube, and I've got things plugged in, like for example right now I'm running audio from the boom in to the H5 and then straight into camera. I've also got my headphones plugged in, so my headphone jack is plugged in so I can monitor the audio. And if you have a look at this shot now, it is an absolute mess. I can't even operate the camera with this stuff in the way. It's just completely it's totally wrong. But anyway, that's what they decided to do. That's where they decided to put the accessories and have the flip out screen flip out the same way. I like the flip out screen, but when you've got a microphone plugged in, even vlogging on the road VideoMic Pro, you have to have the mic plugged in and it is in the way of the screen, and it bugs me so much trying to do things on the touch screen. So I use the Canon camera app instead on the iPad because I just can't be bothered trying to fiddle around all the connections in the camera. Anyway, enough of a rant about that point. Canon, if you could fix this point, that would be incredible. All right, the next thing that annoys me about the Canon EOS R, and this is a very small thing, it's probably picky, but there's an additional press that's required as compared to the 5D Mark IV to change the video recording format. So basically I feel like maybe this is not right because I haven't actually had the Canon 5D in my hand, but I feel like when I used to hit the menu button or in the back screen and the Q button on the back screen, then I could literally just press the movie record box and straight away it would show up all the movie record functions and every different movie record format that there was. But on the EOS R, there's this other button that comes up. So when you press the video record mode button after you hit the Q button, then another button comes up and another screen comes up, and then you have to press that screen as well in order to bring up the video record modes. And I just think that's an extra step that doesn't need to be there, and it kind of bugs me and annoys me that I can't just super quickly go hit the Q button, hit the record mode button, and then change to what I want. I've got to hit this extra step. So Canon, if you could fix that in firmware updates or give me the option to change it in the menu system so that I can wave that middle screen, that would be awesome as well. All right, the third thing that bugs me about the Canon EOS R is that there's no way to quickly jump between photo and video mode. As we know, on the 5D Mark IV and previous DSLRs, there was a nice little flick switch on the side just under the record button, and that was an easy way. Anytime you thought, I want to take a photo, you just flick that button and you're in photo mode. Whereas with the EOS R, it's a series of button presses that you have to make in order to get across from video to photo. Now, I've got a workaround that means when I'm in photo mode, I can actually jump into video mode pretty easily in the C3 mode just by hitting the record button, and that's great. But I don't like the fact that to get from video to photo, I have to actually jump through this menu, this clicking of buttons and menu system that is a little bit different. If there was just an easy way like to map it to one button and I could just hit that one button and then bam, I'd be in the opposite mode. Or if there was again like a little flick switch or something, or maybe I could program the touch bar to jump me between the two, that would be awesome in a firmware update, and that would save a lot of just mucking around having to hit the mode button and then the info button to get across from video to photo, and then choosing obviously as well the mode that you want to be in. Once you hit the mode button, then the info button, then you've got to choose what mode of video or photo you want to be in. Whereas the other way, it was always just a flick switch and then it would jump you into the mode that you're in before. So that's a little annoying thing, probably picky as well, but something that does bug me about this camera. The fourth thing that bugs me about the Canon EOS R is the highlight peaking is only available in playback. Now maybe it isn't, I don't know, but I haven't found any other way to get the highlight peaking without having to take a small recording in video mode and then play it back to see where the highlights are clipping. So you know it's got kind of the black screen where your highlight clips. So I always kind of use that as a check to see how my exposure is in the shot. And it really bugs me that there's no way that this can just do it for me in a live view before I hit record or while I'm recording. It doesn't have the zebras, but it's only got this thing after the fact. So if I'm in a scene and scenario where there's a sun or sun flares coming through the shot after time if I'm shooting outside, then there's no way to check it unless I stop recording, hit the play button, and then scrub all the way through to wherever that change happened, and then look at it there. So for me, it's something that if they had continuous monitoring of like highlight zebras, or you know, whether there's highlights being clipped or not, even if it just went to black when it clips, that would be an incredible feature. And then this whole highlight function wouldn't be kind of unusable on the camera. It would actually be usable and it wouldn't bug me anymore. So that's one thing that does bug me. The final thing, number 5, that bugs me about this camera is the focus assist. There's this little thing where you've got this focus assist when you're in manual mode. It's a little box, and then you've got triangles at the top, and you kind of try and line them up. And what I found is I was using that to kind of get critical focus, but what I was actually focusing more on this little box and more on trying to get these arrows to line up than I was on my actual framing of the shot. So I've actually turned it off, and I think that it's a good idea, but I just kind of focused on it like a little computer game, and I was like, and I was kind of stressed out about getting this focus thing in play. And then when I just switched it off altogether and just used the normal focus peaking that the camera has, I was able to see the focus peaking dots, and you know, I've got it set to red color, so I was able to see the red color when I hit focus, and I was much more aware of my framing and able to compose the shot properly, get my framing right, get my exposure right, and not worrying about this little box with this triangle. And I guess it's great for the setup of interview shots and stuff like that, but when you're shooting run and gun, I would recommend to turn it off so that you're not focused on it, you're not worried about it, you can just shoot normally, get your framing right, get your exposure correct, and then use focus peaking to get your focus when you're using manual focus. Well, that's all from me, guys. That's my 5 things that bug me and annoy me about the Canon EOS R. Apart from that, I've just actually picked up an Atomos Ninja Flame, I think it is, the 7-inch monitor for this. So I'm going to be doing some 10-bit recording tests of this. I'm going to shoot a project on it, and they need a 422 10-bit output for the spec of the production. So I've gone and invested in the Ninja Flame. It does up to 30p 4K, so I don't really need 60p, and the camera itself doesn't put out 60p. So I've got that, and I'm going to be doing some tests on the 10-bit codec that comes out of the Canon EOS R. So keep your eyes out for videos on the 10-bit codec, and yeah, if you want to know more about the Ninja Flame, or just chuck your comments below. I'll be using it as of this week and shooting on it in a production on Monday, so I can let you know how that goes with the camera as well. I'll put links below to the EOS R. If you guys haven't bought one yet, you're still on the 5D, I would say flip it right now, sell the 5D, grab the EOS R. It is definitely worth the upgrade, and I'll put links below as well to the Ninja Flame. And actually, Tyler Edwards, shout out to Tyler, he has done a video on the Ninja 5 or Ninja 5 from Atomos, and it's a smaller, more compact recorder that actually records up to 60 frames per second in 4K. So he's done a little review on that, and that's kind of what prompted me to think more about getting the Ninja. And I just happened to pick up a Ninja, the Ninja Flame, from someone who was selling it secondhand, and I got a really good deal on it with an SSD in, and all the accessory kit as well with it in a nice little box. So I was able to pick one up, and otherwise I probably would have gone all out for the Ninja 5 because it's a 5-inch monitor, a bit smaller, and it would sort of suit the Canon EOS R a little bit better. But anyway, I'm going to link you to Tyler's channel because he's doing similar content to mine, just really great authentic content that can really help you to up your game in all things creative. And that's what this channel's about, that's what Tyler's channel's about. And I really, yeah, me and Tyler are probably going to do some collaboration in the future, so keep your eyes out for that as well. All right, that's enough from me today. We'll see you guys in the next one. Have an awesome week, and bye for now.